Let's begin with the first Devi of the day, Ms. Nandita Roy, filmmaker.
First, let me thank you for this. I think that I'm deserving of this award. That makes me really feel very humble. Thank you, all of you all. Thank you, the organizers, the sponsors, and everyone on stage. Thank you so much. It was lovely hearing such lovely words from men applauding women. Yes, that felt nice. Feels proud to be a woman, but I don't think we are weak. We are strong. And we are achievers. We can do a lot of things. As you said.
What does it feel like? What does being a Devi mean to you?
I hope I inspire a lot of women out there who have dreams, and I would encourage them to just keep chasing their dreams and not give up. Because if you do that, I'm sure one day you will be up here on the stage just as I am. So that's what being a Devi means to me.
Very well said. Thank you so much. And can we have Vandana Alase Hazra? She's a Bharatanatyam dancer, but a lot else.
Well, the classical arts are steeped in Hindu mythology. And what I feel is, it is not just enough to repeat and imitate what others do, but one needs to kind of look deeper into the symbols that the mythology is trying to tell us. And it is okay if we can recast these ideas and these values into new symbols. That is okay. If the symbols have been overused and abused and misunderstood, then it is time that we just don't throw the baby out with the bath water. We need to understand the values that the poets or the seers were trying to capture in the stories. And this is what has been my challenge, because there was a time where I had actually stopped dancing because I thought I was just repeating what the masters had taught us. And it was a kind of search for a new spirituality. And this, I think, is what gives it new life. To look into oneself first and to try and find the spiritual values imbibed, and to kind of find a new spirituality and keep the dance and the arts alive, so that the arts don't just become decorative, and they don't just remain as spectacles to be watched, and not just to mesmerize people, but to carry sense and to make sense to each and every person who watches.
The next award goes to another very powerful woman who's also reinterpreted our mythology. There's a lot of that's happened of late. That is Debarati Mukhopai, author. Debarati, can we have you on stage, please?
Good evening, everyone. First, I'm really feeling extremely honored and humbled that New Indian Express and Indus has considered me as one of the recipients of this esteemed 21st Deviawards 2022. And I would also take this as a very special version, because this time this is happening in such a city, the city which produced the first and only female Nobel laureates of the country, the city which produced few of the first female graduates, few of the first women doctors, and also this city played a very pivotal role in various kind of gender-centric social reforms, like abolishing of sati, widow remarriage, and like the women's education. So as Kaveri asked me, word Devi, it actually originates from the Sanskrit word Deva. That means anything divine or anything of supreme excellence. So I can see a number of galaxy of women stars here who made us so proud in so many ways, but also with utmost respect to all, I would also express my gratitude to the women of my earlier generations, my grandmothers, my great-grandmothers, who had to endure so much inequality and diminishing importance, masquerading their flares. They didn't even get the opportunity to discover what their flair is, what their talent was. And also the today's women who used to do the household chores and the drudgery without having any remuneration. I would also express my gratitude to my family and my domestic helps, because having published 20 plus novels in a short span, also having a government job, extremely responsible, full-time government job, and then being an infant's mother, I could have done probably nothing without the relentless and the fierce support of my family, also without the support of my domestic helps. So I am very much indebted to them. So I think that Devi is all about the divine nature. That means to embrace anyone without being capricious or without being skeptical to his or her nature. And this is what I want to say, that we all should imbibe the nature of helping others and the warmth nature, which will make us a better person. Thank you.
May I now request Sanaya Mehta Vyas, entrepreneur and sports producer, to come on. Sanaya, we've seen the men's rugby team, the junior rugby team, doing so well. When can we expect the women's rugby team to do equally well and bring us home a gold?
I love that question because I'm in charge of women's rugby in India. And well, our goal is to be in the LA Olympics in 28. And that's for the girls, not for the boys, because the girls are doing far better than the boys internationally.
Of course. Of course.
And if I may add on, Kaveri, I'm here today with my mother and my daughter. My mother is my inspiration. She is a fitness icon, and if you think I have anything to do with sport, she is the sports superstar.
Wow.
We work out together every day. And
could we have a mother raise her hand? Oh, wow.
And my daughter worked out with my mother and me during the entire lockdown, and she's the strongest girl I know. And when I came up today, I gave you 2 books, which my mother has written on who is a Parsi, simply because women like me, who are Parsis married outside the community, were not given equal rights.
Right.
So my mother kind of went through the history and has taken out
Dr.
the
Swami
truths and
is married
facts.
to a Parsi.
And therefore, I'm sure you all will enjoy the book.
He's
so
married
there
to a
she
Parsi.
is, fighting for equality as well, and she's
Well
taken
done.
it out in a book.
Well done.
So I'm here with my inspiration and my motivation.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Our next award winner, Priyam Budhia, water conservationist, and a lot.
Firstly, thank you so much. I'm truly honored and humbled to be receiving this award today. Thank you, the New Indian Express Group and Indulge, for deeming me and my work worthy of this recognition. I would like to extend my congratulations to all the fellow awardees who are truly Devis in their own respective fields of work. And I would also like to thank my parents, my grandparents, who are truly pillars of strength in every single thing that I do. Now, coming to your question regarding Water on Wheels, when I came back from the UK, which is where I spent 7 years of my life, I actually made a day trip to visit my nanny in her village in Sonarpur. And when I saw that, you know, in rural India, mostly women and children, they have to walk long distances, almost 5 to 20 kilometers on a daily basis to fetch water. they could use this time doing something else, pursuing their educational opportunities or economic opportunities. So this sort of really opened up my eyes, and I felt that I wanted to go back and develop something in this field, given that my family business, the Pattern Group, has been in water management solutions. So went back home and brainstormed with my team. We came up with this product called Water on Wheels, called the roller tanks, and which we distributed to various villages in Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, Jharkhand, etc. And I'd just like to, stress on how this has changed the way things were. Earlier, women would walk once every day to fetch water. Now they walk once a week to fetch water. So that means 52 days instead of walking 365 days to fetch water. So that much more time is freed up to pursue educational opportunities. Women are sort of, making handicrafts, making achars, and all of that. And, earlier, traditionally in India, fetching water was viewed as a woman's job only, and men would not partake in this activity. But after having introduced the roller tank, which looks somewhat like a wheelbarrow, men also partake in this activity.
It's and also because it's less work.
Well, okay, but yes, so that brings about gender equality, and it's safer for women to walk those long distances to fetch water. So this is really the story behind it, and I'm truly thankful for this award. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we have someone who's very special and who's worked very hard these last 3 years fighting COVID. In fact, got it right towards the tail end of the COVID wave. But she's here with us today, thankfully. Dr. Sushmita Roy Chowdhury, pulmonologist.
First of all, thank you very much for considering me for this award. So when I first went into medicine and I wanted to, do a specialization, I took chest medicine. I was the first one in 28 years to join that in King George Medical College, Lucknow. And my professor asked me, "Gynae nahi mila tha?" That was the first sentence.
Obvious, gynae.
So I didn't really know I would be fighting COVID then. But what I really did learn is resilience. As a human, I saw communities, our community coming together, and we did much better than what other countries did just because we all were together. And I learned as a doctor that health is wealth. And I think it's high time we start talking about health and do something about health rather than talk about illnesses. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next award winner is a fascinating woman. I discovered her work late through Patal Lok and Bomkesh Bakshi, but I was absolutely blown away by her. Swastika Mukherjee, actor.
I think she's trying to, but since we are all here and we all heard what Dr. Swami shared with us, I would like to ask a question. You confirm the fact that we women are weaker in terms of pulling or picking weight compared to men, which I guess is right. In the gym, we do pull and pick 50 kilos, 80 kilos, but I guess in real life, that's a problematic situation, which, I do confirm your thoughts on that. And you also suggested, which is incredible, that karate should be incorporated from the school level.
Yes.
And we should teach our children the basic ways of self-defense. But sir, what do you suggest women who are 50 or 60 years of age do? Because in our country, looks and age doesn't matter. A crippled old beggar who is a woman and is a footpath dweller also gets raped. And my mothers or masis or kakis have arthritis, so they can't learn karate at this age. So what do you suggest women? I think till we are dying, there's a risk of getting raped in our country. What do you suggest for them who can't learn karate?
Well, I mean, You put me on a tough spot.
Yes, sir, I've been planning to do that for a long time.
I would say, see, when you start with a new idea, it's very difficult to say that it is going to be so for everybody. I think the state has the responsibility to see that all citizens are able to protect themselves. And
Hard and stricter, just something that you can suggest for men, because we are either way doing a lot.
well, I mean, you want a harder punishment for men who do raping?
Yeah, something that can at least make them fear.
I have a suggestion which the American Society had once recommended. It was called the bobbit cut, which I can't elaborate today here.
No, we understand, sir.
We understand.
The word cut is enough. And we are very good at doing that. If the law gives us the free way that you don't need to go through the justice system for years and you can just chop it off yourself. At least if you can, help us getting that
Yes.
permit, that'll be enough.
Yes, it's a promise.
Thank you so much. Looking forward.
Once he commits to something, he doesn't give up,
Sir, I'm going to knock you on Twitter on this.
Yes, you
Please,
can.
please.
You are free.
Women who are in this hall today, please make sure that we keep knocking him on this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next award winner is Alka Bangur, businesswoman and philanthropist.
First of all, I'm very grateful that you have honored me with this award. And now my responsibilities are more, I think, towards the society. I pray God Almighty to give me more health, good wishes for do more for the society. And thank you very much. I think if there is a will, there is a wish, there is a way. So when I was married, I was just 15-year-old.
Wow.
And I wanted to become a doctor. But my family, after marriage, the family which I got was very orthodox family. But my husband, my children, I got in between and I did my MA, MBA. And then I wanted to do PhD. But because of the family background, I had to join my husband in the business and I did MBA. So what I think that my wish for this country is that every girl in this country should be educated. मैं रहूँ न रहूँ, मेरी ये तमन्ना है कि आज यहाँ जो बैठे हैं सब लोग, मेरे से छोटे भी हैं, बड़े भी हैं, प्रॉमिस करिए कि जैसे केरला is an educated state, I want every girl of this country should be educated. अगर एजुकेशन है तो सब कुछ है.
बिल्कुल.
एजुकेशन नहीं है, अगर माँ पढ़ी लिखी नहीं है तो बच्चों को कुछ नहीं करा सकती है. और माँ पढ़ी लिखी है तो बच्चों को कहीं से कहीं भी बढ़ा सकती है. मेरी ये विश है और भगवान से प्रार्थना है कि हमारा भारत जितना समृद्ध देश है उसी तरह से हमारी लड़कियां जो यहाँ बैठी है, देवी इज रियली देवी, शी विल बी देवी व्हेन शी विल बी एजुकेटेड. एंड दैट इज माय ड्रीम्स, मैम. एंड आई होप दैट द ड्रीम विल कम ट्रू ओनली विद द सोसाइटी, विद द हेल्प ऑफ एवरीबडी. And I'm very thankful to all of you that you called me here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Wonderful to hear you. The next award winner is a woman of great taste, and I really do admire her clothes and her taste, even if I don't fit into them. Parumita Banerjee, fashion designer. Talk a little about that philosophy.
Well, sustainability is a very, very old concept. We've tried to celebrate it now by making it a trend. But ever since we know sustainability has always been a design vocabulary of India. You take the example of Shujni Kantha.
Right.
Yeah, so that basically starts with patching older pieces of fabric, layering it together. And that's where sustainability really is. Like, for example, you would have definitely upcycled your mother's Banarasi maybe, worn it in different ways, or if it has been torn, you patch it up, use it as a razai or a quilt. So, you know, the concept of a jugaad, concept of sustainability has always been an Indian concept. Like, for example, jam bottles. Don't we put biscuits inside? Yeah, we always store them up for, you know, eternity. So things like that have always been a part of our design vocabulary. Because we weave fabrics from our weavers, we do not believe in throwing anything away. The leftovers are patched up into different products. We're adding value to products by not giving into waste. And that really works for our philosophy as well. No waste, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
more power to you. Our next winner is Seema Sapru, Principal, Heritage School.
Online and had to write an examination offline. So you can imagine how the poor kids felt, because the first day when they entered the school, they had to write an examination. So we tried our best to familiarize them with the surroundings of a school, how it looked like, because the last we saw them was in class 7. 8 and 9, they sat at home, and 10, they came to write the examination. So they were little kids. In fact, some of them were hiding their faces because they didn't want us to see their beards grown.
So sweet.
And they were very, very sweet, of course. So we tried to help them as much as we can. But let me tell you, you've increased my responsibility to the power of infinity. Because I thought as it is becoming a principal, you've got to live up to the expectations of so many people. And then to become a Devi is like, wow. Devi to me is like, children would say, now this lady cannot make a mistake.
Our next award winner is Richa Agarwal, head of the Kolkata Creative Center. Richa, may we have you on stage, please?
Thank you so much, first, for the award. It's gratifying, humbling, and I think a lot more responsibility. For me, being a part of the art world has taught me one thing, that art is not just what you see on the wall or appreciate. It is just a way of life. It's how you choose to live. So it's all about your own perspective and the way you want to look at art and grow along with it.
Our next award winner is a personal favorite of mine. She's the one who did the dossier for the City of Goddess, and that's why Kolkata was inscribed as a World Intangible Heritage Site. Taupati, I think I'm pronouncing it right, Taupati Guha Thakur.
First of all, many thanks to the New India Express Group and to Kaveri in particular for persuading me to be part of this event. People like me don't often receive awards, and I must say I've seldom been part of such a tremendously glamorous setting. It makes me feel most unglamorous. But as an academic, this is a very special honor for me. I'll just say that, you know, as an academic all my life, and then for 5 years I was director of an institution. The move from the research and the teaching we do to the taking charge of public institutions was a big step. For me, those 5 years was a tremendously learning period in my life, and I don't think I could have managed to steer through the center, build the archive within it, and do my own personal work on the Durga Pujas of Kolkata without the support of my colleagues, my administrative staff, and of course, an extremely supporting husband, daughter, and other family members. The opportunity to write a dossier for the Government of India to get an intangible cultural heritage JAG for the Durga Pujas of the city was a special opportunity that came to me in 2018-19. And I was delighted that the UNESCO nomination came through last year. I think after 2 years of COVID, after a deep personal tragedy that I suffered, I lost my husband to COVID right at the beginning of the wave. It was a way of standing up again and saying there is a lot to still live for. And I will say that I like to dedicate this award today to this amazing festival of the city, which happens in the name of the goddess, which is the name of my book. But it is the grandness of the celebration. It is the large number of creative and commercial stakeholders. It is the city's biggest cultural, commercial, and artistic event. I saw it being transformed into the country's most fabulous public art event. And it is in that capacity that I think the UNESCO award has been most meaningful. So I'd like to dedicate today's award to the fabulous artists and craftspeople who have made Kolkata's Durga Puja what it is.
Wonderful. That's so beautiful. The next winner is Priyadarshini Hakim, mental health activist. Priyadarshini, can we have you on stage, please?
Good evening, everyone. And I would first like to say that I am really honored and humbled by this recognition. And I want to thank everyone on the stage and the lovely audience there, and also congratulate each and every Devi. You all look gorgeous tonight. Now, coming to the question, yes, I have been associated with social cause for some time now, but menstrual health and hygiene, the work for that started very arbitrarily in a very disorganized way. And when I started working for that, what I realized that, of course, in the problems are different. In rural areas, it's the access to the hygiene. It is the monetary difficulties. But in the slum areas and urban areas, the problem is the taboo and the social stigma relating to the normalizing of periods. So today, while receiving this award, I would also want to thank Indian Express and Indulge, because when some progressive publications like this gives me an award, it also helps a lot in normalizing menstrual health and hygiene and give dignity to all the women who menstruate every month. My endeavor, which is Proti Mashe, it means every month she's a goddess. When she's menstruating, then also she's a goddess. And we are standing in Bengal, where before me, the awardee, she was speaking about the intangible heritage. And we here worship Nari Shakti, and what a better way than accepting an award standing here. Thank you so much.
Shangumitra Bondopadhyay, she's the first woman director of the Indian Statistical Institute, but a lot else.
First of all, thank you very much to the New Indian Express Group for considering me for this award. It's a pleasure to be here among the stars, among the galaxy of achievers, and the span, mind-boggling, the span of work that's going on. About STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Medicine is also added to that. STEAM is also there with arts. Everywhere we need women, not just in STEM, we need women everywhere. In STEM in particular, because a country needs to do its own research to generate its own knowledge, and where that next invention, where that next discovery will come from, nobody knows. It could come from any of us, all the women, the men, so the entire population needs to be there, because talent, when it was distributed, was not given to any particular gender. It was distributed, I hope, in a gender-neutral way. So for all of us, we need women in STEM. Of course, because of the what should I say, the demands. Often it demands a lot of time. Women tend to fall off that pipeline. I wish, as Dr. Subramaniam Swamy has said, while there would be independence, financial independence in the family, there has to be a mutual dependence on each other, because a woman often fears losing the man, losing the family if she puts her foot down. But my experience tells me that a man also fears losing his wife, losing his family. And if that mutual dependence is there, that mutual fear of losing each other, then I think women will be more empowered to put their foot down and say, this is all the compromise that I will make and nothing more than that. Thank you very much once again for the award. Thank you.
I have to ask you another question. What are you working on now so that we know what to celebrate 2 or 3 years later?
I don't know, because science doesn't yield results in 2-3 years' time. What I've done today, whatever I have achieved is 20 years' work.
Yeah.
So maybe 20 years down the line, something else. But yes, I'm working on something called, single cell data analytics, in the sense that right now the technology is available where you can look at the molecules that are there inside individual cells. Earlier, it was not possible to look at individual cells. You could only look at mass of cells, information coming out of a mass of cells. But there, for example, in tumor, in cancer, the tumorous cells are very heterogeneous in nature. And therefore, it is very important to look at individual cells if you can, because it also yields very interesting information. So that is what we are doing. And I am a computer scientist. I develop algorithms, and I take pleasure in coming up and beating other algorithms. That is what I take pleasure in. I work in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and there is nothing masculine about artificial intelligence and machine learning. It's where the women need to come in large numbers, because, as I said, it's imagination, how well you can think, and creativity. That is what it requires. And I hope if more and more women come into the workforce, the country is going to benefit, science is going to benefit, this world is going to benefit. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mrs. Joyita Sen, director from Senco Gold and Diamonds, to come up on stage as well. Last and final award of the day goes to Julian Goswami. Wait to watch Chakta Express, but it's so nice to see you in person. But talk about women's IPL. I'm very excited about it. How is it going to change the game for the women in blue?
Good evening, and thank you so much for this award. And I think after 2017 World Cup, people start believing in women's cricket.
Yeah.
And way the perception has changed for women's cricket in our country. That's incredible. And looking forward for the women's IPL. Hopefully, in coming year, we must see, I think 5 or 6 teams, maybe we might have a women's IPL. And we all are looking forward for this, because already other nations like Australia, England, they already started those professional Premier League. And India is just far behind. But definitely, whenever women's IPL will come, definitely more girls will come and play, and they start playing in a professional basis. And that's going to be one more big achievement for women's cricket.
I would like to express our gratitude to our very charismatic Chief Guest, Dr. Swami, for so graciously accepting our invitation. As always, you have charmed us with your eloquence and wit, given us plenty of food for thought, and most importantly, with your promise to do more and push for tougher punishment. Yes, thank you so much. Our gratitude to all our Devis, because of whom we have gathered here today, for the wonderful work that they have done and they continue to do as they spread good cheer and positivity all around us. Our sponsors, RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Senco Jewelry, National Jute Board, Softline from Rupa, Pen Tonic from Link Pen, Placid Limited, LIC, celebrate and cheer our awe-inspiring Devis for their incredible journeys. We wish to see you again next year for the 3rd edition of Devi. Goodbye and stay safe.